Hello there, everyone. I am back for another Let's Play. So, very excited to be here. We went through all of the enemies in our original Let's Play, and now many months later, the game is in the hands of all the wonderful backers that helped make Encounters Shattered Wastes a thing. And I've had a few people reach out to me and say, hey, this enemy, the Specter, is pretty hard. Pretty difficult. Maybe I underestimated when I say 5 here. It might be a hard 5. So I'm here to play around, just to talk strategy about the Specter, and for those that are maybe having a little trouble or maybe want to see it done, right? So I have already done the enemy setup. We won't go through that here. However, it's worth noting that all this information can be found in our previous Let's Play videos and on almanacgames.com/ESW rules, where we have various guides on how to play the game, video walkthroughs, the official rulebook, that sort of thing. Okay, so just finishing setting some stats here. We have decided to play with the Aeromancer, the Seer, the Slayer, and the Monk. And this is going to be, I'm not going to explain every single thing as we go through this Let's Play. I'm just going to kind of, you know what? I'm going to get rid of a couple things here. Let's get rid of all this and get rid of all that. I'm going to be going a little fast here, as if people watching this have already played the game a few times and just know what's going on. The other thing I want to do with this is none of this is predetermined. I haven't loaded any of these decks. I haven't preset my abilities. I'm playing this as though it's right out of the box and everything. So we're going to shuffle up all these cards that I have no idea what's in them for our draft. Also, these technically shouldn't be placed on the board yet. I just had them there to get them out of the way. I'll replace after I draft if that's relevant. Okay, we're going to do 2 for our Aeromancer, 2 Martial, 1 Support, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Sorcery, no items. And you might be wondering why I picked this particular configuration. This is the Specter is really difficult, right? On this front side of the Specter, the lore here is sort of this hero has been possessed by this horrible creature and it's slowly eating them alive. So in the defend phase, whenever these cards, the stamina cards, get revealed, they're going to go into wounds, which is great because that means it's going to die a lot faster. But it's bad because wounds deal us damage. So on this front side, we need to manage our health as much as possible, be attacking as much as we can, trying to get cards into wounds while keeping our health as high as possible. On the back side, we have... oh, that's odd. Looks like the card didn't load properly. Sorry, we're back. On the back side here, the Specter is a lot more difficult. This area limit of 4 is very difficult. They'll be getting, characters will be getting this possessed affliction, which means that they can't use their trait, and then rage cards are coming up against them. So it is very, very difficult. And it's compounded by the fact that you have now a lot of these magical strength cards coming at you, increasing your threat. But one advantage that you sort of have in this situation on the Specter backside is if you can keep the area limit below 4, which is, again, very tough, you're not taking any actual health damage other than the rage cards from a new host. So that's sort of the game that we're going to have to play. Manage our health on the front side, and then manage our threat on the backside. That's kind of the name of the game. So again, let's flip these over. Ooh, we already have some really good stuff going on with the Aeromancer. We'll take a look at that in a second. Get rid of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God, we got some really good pulls here for the Seer. I don't even need to really see the items, but Empowering Drought Plus, High Health Potion, we might keep one of those, and Crystal Elixir, also great. So we drew some of the best cards in the game for the Seer. We have Blood Magic, Fire Monsoon, Comet Storm, and Raising Wind. All these are so great for helping keep people alive. We'll get to that in a second. We'll worry about our draft. I really want to make sure all these characters synergize together. So the Slayer, we've got some Forbidden Technique action, Aim, Repent. I think the Slayer in this avenue is going to be less damage dealy and more support. Oh, Procura is clutch. We can keep that going. Repent is really nice. So you spend 2 magic and it's basically a recover action for 2 people. So you're getting rid of threat on yourself and someone else at the cost of a little bit of magic, which is very, very nice. And then the Monk, we love seeing the Monk because the Monk is very self-sufficient. We got some Finisher, some Sweeping Slash. I always find these martial characters maybe the hardest to build for because they're very aggro, but at the same time, you have to know when to, like, what abilities to take damage-wise. And the trick with the Specter is we have to deal damage very fast and efficiently, but we have to stay alive. So, like, do I try and go for, really big attacks here with Blade Blossom and Overwhelming Fury? Blade Blossom is very nice. We want to keep these abilities up for the injured side, for when the Specter flips. So we have another Crystal Elixir. Tactical Instincts is fine. Healing Zephyr is incredible. It's one of the best abilities in the game, so that might be worth it. I think, and Finisher is also so good, because what we could do is we could use Overwhelming Fury or Provoking Pierce into a Finisher, into something else. So, like, something that's really good is doing Blade Blossom into Finisher, into Provoking Pierce for 6 MP. And then you still get another action on top of that. But that's a big card investment, right? So I'm going to be playing pretty defensive and conservatively in this. And cycle cards are very good. They're very strong. But let's see. Yeah, they're very good and really strong. I'm going to keep Provoking Pierce. It's a good 2-die attack. So we're going to get rid of these. As good as Blade Blossom is as a spike, I like Provoking Pierce because it's a cheap 2-die attack that lets me move cards around. So we're going to keep Healing Zephyr, Crystal Elixir. Weird that our Monk are a bit of our healer, but sometimes that's the draw here. The Slayer has Forbidden Technique for an auto crit. That will get rid of 2 cards right off the rip. But again, that uses a whole card. You never know what you're going to cycle into. I think Repent is a must. We're getting a lot of threat. So again, we're looking into maybe a little more support heavy. We'll go with Repent for great threat reduction. Procura is a must because we're getting rid of, like, afflictions will be coming very a lot. And then let's see. Let's do a high health potion as well, just to really keep us going in that early game. Because math-wise, I'm hoping that I can get some crits just sort of natively, like on my own. And the Seer, we have some choices for. We could go really damage heavy and say, listen, the Seer is going to be our monster. We've got Comet Storm, we've got Fire Monsoon. Like, if we can hit on these during a stagger turn, that would be big, right? One of those two, anyway. Or even not in a stagger turn in the case of Fire Monsoon, if we can get a lot of cards. So, and then Blood Magic, obviously, is really big, too. It reduces our health, but that's actually maybe okay. What's cool about Blood Magic is you could open the turn with it first, get to 0, and then shatter, potentially. But it is risky, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it a little more safe. Oh, risky getting rid of Raising Wind, but we'll keep Comet Storm, Fire Monsoon, and a Crystal Elixir. Oh man, but Empowering Drought Plus is so tempting because this is a really cool combo. You roll 2 dice and you gain that much MP, then you may use any active ability even if you didn't use this activation. So what you could do is do a Comet Storm, Empowering Drought into a Fire Monsoon on a stagger turn, which is honestly really spicy. It says Empowering Drought plus. Also has this particular one has my favorite flavor text in the game. You can't just add an addition symbol and assume people won't think it's an incomplete equation. Plus what? It's a math joke for the master of numbers if you're watching. Let's hold on these two. I'm not sure which one I want to do yet. I'll pick after I do the Aeromancer. All right, Aeromancer has so many good options right now. So you've got Duel of Honor, which is if there are no other characters in your line, this is a free ability. Paired with his Arcane Accuracy, if I can keep everyone else in the front line and him in the back line, I can use Duel of Honor for free, cost 4 MP, but not count as one of my actions. And then just if I hit, I put a card into wounds. That's very good. So I think I do want to keep Shield of Hope's bad on him. Smiting Impale is okay, but I don't think it'll work in this particular configuration. Precognition. We can place the cards in the area in any order, which pairs really well with the Seer. It's also really good for managing... And then Necrotic Arts is also decent. But I don't think I want to use that. Spirit Bond is great too. But I don't think we're going to do that. Hexbolt, very strong as like a cheap attack, which will get that ability off. So I think we have to keep Hexbolt. We're not going to keep Shield of Hope. It's either... I think Crystal Barrier helps us. Because we might be able to use that to counter the flip side. I'm really banking on keeping my characters alive. I already have a Crystal Elixir here. I'm going to take the risk and do Empowering Drought Plus here. I'm really going to try and go all in on as early as possible on the first stagger turn on the flip side. And we're going to see if that works out. But that means I have to keep the Seer alive that long, which means we have to go really hard on this front side to get damage off. So these are supposed to go on the bottom of the deck normally, but I'm just sort of doing this for expediency. All right. In terms of areas, we have to lean on the Seer early to get rid of high threat cards. I actually like the configuration I'm in right now because I want this Aeromancer to get rid of this 5 immediately with his ability with a Hex Bolt. And then maybe parlay that into a Duel of Honor afterwards. Sort of wish, like with this config, you had the Siren to punt the Aeromancer more MP. He's gonna have to recover a lot soon, but that might be okay. All right, let's get some dice out. I will shuffle this stamina deck up, and each character is gonna roll 2 dice in the refresh phase. Let's see, we have a 2 and a 5. So 2 and 5, and then we're gonna roll 2 more dice again. And then 4 and 4. Roll them again. We haven't rolled any 6s yet, which is both good and bad. 3 and 1. And 2 and 2. Okay. a little scary. A little scary, but that's okay. So what areas are broken? We have an area limit of 5. So anything over 5 we have to deal with. So we have 4, 5 here. This is bad. 2 is bad. 3 is okay. 4 is bad. 5 is okay. Then we can manage a little more of this with the Seer. Like the Seer, for example, I could just punt one of these cards into Fatigue and not worry about it. I think what we want to start with is the... Let's see. I think what we want to do is we're going to go with the Aeromancer. Oh, actually, no. Let's put the Seer at the start here. This is a little cheating. I forgot that the Aeromancer needs to be in his own. I cheated. He needs to be in his own line. It doesn't change anything. Doesn't change anything. He needs to be alone. So let's start with our Aeromancer. We're going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4 for Duel of Honor. There are no other characters in my line, so this is free. So it's not costing one of my actions. So I'm going to roll 2 dice, right? So we'll roll 2 dice. And that's going to hit. And this is going to go into wounds because I used an active ability. It only deals 1 damage. And I'm going to gain 2 threat. And then I am going to now spend 2 more for a Hex Bolt. And that's also going to hit. That's going to go to wounds. I'm going to gain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now his threat is sort of high, but this is fine because I can take a recover action. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we already hit. We put 2 cards into wounds, and the monk will take care of this area in a second. Maybe the monk won't. We might have the seer do that. So we're done with the Aeromancer. Really good opening turn, punting a couple cards into wounds. Again, at this level of encounters, you really have to exploit every ability, everything as possible, the best that you can. Next, I think what I want to do is go with the seer. And I want to take a look at these 2 with her trait. Yeah, I don't like this at all. So we're going to put that here. Into fatigue. I don't like that there's an affliction there. But it's preferable to getting a rage card. Afflictions are terrible. So next with the seer, we're going to, let's just attack, I think. Maybe we can get lucky and get a crit. 5, that hits. That's going to go into fatigue. We'll gain 2 threat. Crit value's 4. And then we're just going to take a move action. And we're just going to go back here because I'm going to put the Slayer over here and take advantage of his traits. Okay, next up we have the Slayer. And you don't have to go, again, go in this order. I'm just going left to right because that's sort of strategically what I want to do. And let's have him attack this area with a basic attack. 3 is greater than 0. He deals 2 damage, so these 2 are going to go to fatigue. And then I can spend 4 MP, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is good because I'll have enough for Repent. I gain 4 threat, and I can put 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4 from stamina and fatigue. Slayer's so good at getting this to happen, and then he's going to block this card here, protecting our seer from damage. And then the monk, we are going to move here. We're going to punch. Let's see if we can get a crit. Nope, still no crits, which stinks, but that's okay. These 2 are going to go to fatigue. We're going to gain 5 threat. And I'm going to take my free move, and we're going to go right there, which is good. So we managed to get everything under 5 now. So none of these, the area limit's not going to blow up, which we really like to see. And now we go into the defend phase. So this is going to flip and hit the monk. So 1 damage and 1 affliction, and then this goes to wounds because of parasitic possession. So 1 affliction, paralyze. I cannot perform the move action, but that might not actually be the worst in the short term because Marks of Banishment lets me move 1 space after I complete an action. So monk gets through that paralysis. And then this, only 1 damage to our Slayer, which is great. That'll go into wounds. And we'll draw 2 from stamina to go here and here. Oh man, a couple of 5ers. We have a lot of 5ers. That is rough stuff. Good thing we won't see that on the reverse side. Then we go back to refresh. And let's roll some dice. So I'll flip these as I roll. That's what I like to do to see what's going on. Okay, so we have 2 and 4. Let's roll again. 1 and 2. This area again is very scary, but we have a lot of help available to us. And 2, nothing in 6. How many cards do we have left here? 5. Okay, so we're setting up for a stagger turn next round. Oh my gosh, 2 and 2. Okay, so now this is a little scary. Admittedly, this is scary. I am not sure if we're going to be able to get this all the way down. We have to get rid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Well, maybe 5 cards because we've got also have the seer here to help us out with getting rid of a card. So we can get rid of this 5 on the bottom and put it into fatigue. And then we'd have to still get rid of 4, but still possible with the monk. And maybe. Okay. Let's begin with the Slayer. Will spend 2 for Repent. Oh, sorry, roll 1 die. That doesn't count. Oh, that was a 6 too. 2. Okay, so the Slayer will lose 2 threat and the Seer will lose 2 threat, which we like. That's an action. And then this let's roll again to recover, which is our crit. So we're gonna put our magic all the way back up to 7. Next up is the Seer, and let's take a look at. Let's look at all these, because remember we can rearrange these in any order. This thing is horrible. This is bad. 3 afflictions. That might be one of the worst cards that you can possibly get. Part of me just wants to put it on the top and let the Aeromancer dunk on it with a Hex Bolt. Let's see, what do we have here? We could put this 4 into fatigue, because that's not that bad for later. Yeah, let's actually do that. Let's put this into fatigue with the Seer. Let's do this. Yeah, I like this a lot. And then that was the Seer. The Seer is still able to do 2 actions, so we're just gonna do a basic attack, get rid of that 1. So that 2, so that's gonna go into fatigue, gain 1 threat. And this is gonna hit the Slayer, which is rough stuff, but again, the Slayer, we don't necessarily care if the Slayer gets hurt a bit. He's got some chunky health and a high health potion, so that's fine. The health potions are this health potion is specifically, along with Healing Zephyr, to let us take a few hits in this early phase here. So I think we're just going to, with her, recover. Oh, oh no, let's get our, oh, I never set her magic to 10. There we go. She does not have 0 magic. Oh, was I moving the Seer down for the Slayer? I might have been, but that's okay. So the Slayer would have 0 health, or 0 MP, because he was at 7, and he did 1, 2, 3, 4, then he did 2, he'd be at 1 MP. My bad, I know, you were probably watching being like, what is he doing? I fixed it. Okay, where are we at now? No, the Slayer is at 7. I did do it right. He had a crit recover all the way back to 7. That's fine. So we did the Seer and the Slayer. Next, let's go with our Aeromancer. And I will really want to hit, so we're gonna spend 2 for Hex Bolt. Because I do really want to hit this. So 4 is greater than 3. I may reroll any 1s or 2s, but I don't need to. So this is going to go into wounds. I will gain 5 threat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But next thing I'm going to do is take a recover action. Oh, only down to 2. Okay. So that was my whole turn. I don't have enough MP to do Duel of Honor again, but that's okay. That's okay. Next, we're going to go with the Monk, and the Monk is going to recover 6, which is great. We'll go to 0, and then we're going to do a basic attack punching these 2. And if we can crit, that would be awesome. Can we get a 3? Can we get a 3, please? Ah, 4. Dang. Okay, so these 2 will go into fatigue. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 threat, but with the Monk's trait, this is going to actually go down 1. Okay. Now we are in the defend phase. That was the Monk. We did the Aeromancer. Nothing is over 5, which is great. This is going to flip 1 damage to the Monk. That's totally fine. It goes into wounds. This is going to hit. Ooh, okay, that's fine. So this hits our Slayer for only 1 affliction. Got bailed out a bit there. Where's my affliction deck? Where'd it go? Oh. Possessed. I have no trait, only a recover action. That's not great. We got that a little early, which we hate to see, so we won't be able to mill with his trait anymore. So I'm gonna put that right there so I don't accidentally use it. But that's gonna go into wounds. That could be a lot worse though. I'm not. Procura actually gets around that too, because this says a recover action can only remove this with a crit, but Procura is not that. So I could ditch it if I wanted. We'll see if it's worth that MP expenditure soon enough. Great. That's great. So let's go back to the refresh phase. This is going to go here. Another 5? How many 5s did I draw? There are only 5 in the whole deck. Okay, 2. So we have a 3 here. A 4. Oh, okay. So now he's staggered. And 1, and 1 more. And 3. Okay, how many are left in his health? 11. So we need a big turn here. We gotta punt a lot of cards into wounds. Again, this could be a situation where we would want to consider using a Fire Monsoon to get a lot of these cards from fatigue into wounds, but I really want to save that for the flip side. So I'm making the front side a little harder for myself in order to do that. What we're gonna do with the Monk first is we're gonna do a recover action. Nice, so that's gonna get us back down to 0. We get the free move off of that, so we're paralyzed, but we can still do the Marks of Banishment free move to here. And then we're gonna do a, I could do a Provoking Pierce if I wanted. Place all cards from an adjacent area into your target area before dealing damage. I could do that, but I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to, so we're just do a regular attack. 1, which is still greater than 0. So we're gonna do 2 cards into wounds. We're gonna gain 5 threat, but we'll drop 1 down to 4, which is nice. Let's go next with our Slayer. And let's see, we'd 5, 6, 7, we gain 8. We'd be at 10. That's very scary, but I think it's still worth it because he's not putting any threat on us. So I'm gonna do a basic attack and hope I roll. That's tough. That's tough. Hoping to roll a 3, 4, 5, or 6. I don't love it. I don't love it. But we need to do, we gotta risk it. 5, okay, great. Oof, a 6 would have been nice because that's his crit, but we'll still take that. So we're gonna gain 8, and that's gonna bring us to 10. And then I'm gonna move here. And I'm not sweating this right now. I can do a repent and do some recovery next turn, which is fine. And I've got the health to eat some of these. I know that these cards don't have threat symbols. The physical attack cards never has threat symbols on the back. So I'm not at risk of shattering quite yet. The other thing we need to be mindful of is the Specter. When the Specter flips, the area limit's 4. So we really want to wipe out as many of these cards as possible, kind of so that nothing pops off when the Specter flips. We can't let these get too high either. Because one of the strategies in some of these other bosses is to let these rows get really big and then wipe them out on a stagger turn. This, you sort of have to manage them a bit more properly, I think. So yeah, again. So we did this guy and we did the monk. Aeromancer is in a bit of trouble here. So I think we're just gonna actually double recover, which is not what you kind of want to see as a recover action, but on like a stagger turn. So let's do 1, 2, 3 here. And then let's see what this gets me. 2. Ooh, hate to see it. Rough turn for my Aeromancer. 2 is the worst because his crit's 1. I haven't crit a single time in the game. It's awful. It's awful. That's it for the Aeromancer. Sometimes those double recover turns just stink. And then the Seer, we're gonna manage this area limit over here with the Seer. So we're just gonna take a look at what is bad. This is actually a not bad 4 card. What is that, 4, 1? Let's leave this one out, maybe. And if I punt this into Fatigue, it's coming immediately out next turn. So we'll have to remember that this one's bad. So actually, let's get rid of the 4 and we'll know that that one's not bad. Because we're not shattered yet. Okay, so that was the action phase. Oh no, I still have 2 actions with my Seer. Let's not forget that. Yeah, let's just do a move and a basic attack here so that the monk's not eating a ton. 3. Okay, so that's gonna go into wounds. We'll gain 4 threat. 1, 2, 3, 4. But now the monk's only having a 1 threat card herder. Great. Flip this. Defend phase. 1 damage onto our Aeromancer. No biggie. Go into wounds because the Specter is eating its host alive. And then 1 damage onto the monk. Again, not a big deal. Oh yeah, and Duel of Honor won't even work right now because I've mismanaged my location where I'm at. So, but it worked on that first one, which is what counts. And we can probably get it going again soon. And then only 1 damage onto the Slayer, which is great. So that goes into wounds. This is all gonna go back here. And we've got 3 areas with no cards, which is really nice. So 1, 2, 3, and then we start rolling dice again. And hopefully we're getting to a point where it's gonna be staggered again soon. So 2 and 2. We know this one's not scary. Uh, 1 and 3. And 3 and 5. How are we doing over here? 3 cards left in stamina. Okay, so unfortunately we can't use the Slayer to sort of draw out these cards, but I think that's maybe okay. The other sort of spicy trick we can do here is the Seer lets you move a card into Fatigue, which will actually keep the Specter from flipping too early if we're not ready for it yet. So, because the Specter will flip to the injured side the first time we deal damage when there's nothing in Stamina Fatigue, but we can put a card in Fatigue with the Seer, so we can limit that sort of interaction. Okay, let's keep going here. Where are we? We are in the action phase now. And we have a couple of good options available to us. Apologies for the quieter voice. I had to stop and have a baby sleeping next to me, so hopefully we don't wake him up. He is guarded, so we need to be a little bit careful here. And we have 1, 2, 3 areas that aren't doing great. The Seer can take care of one of them for sure. So we just need to think about which one we want. I think I would like to start with the Aeromancer. I mean, the Slayer just needs to double recover and eat. a hit, so let's just double recover with the Slayer. It's tough, like, because maybe I could repent with the Slayer and get some more use out of it. So maybe instead we go here. Yeah, let's go here. And take a look at these three. This one is still terrible. So let's leave that there so that we can deal with it next round, maybe. We'll punt that into fatigue, keeping that under 5, which is nice. And then we will... should we move and attack? Gives us a 50-50. And then we can repent down. I don't hate that idea. Move, then attack, gives us a 50-50 shot. 3, miss. That's okay. That's fine. So now we can go with the Slayer, and we'll spend 2 for repent. 5, that's great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we'll put this down to 0, then we'll just recover again. We'll just do a double recover. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Love that. Repent is great. Next, we need to go with the Monk, when we're in a bit of a precarious situation. So I think this is a great time to... Actually, no. Here, we'll do this. Let's go with... I think we're gonna have to eat this card on everyone, which I don't love, but it's better potentially than the alternatives. So I think what we want to do is, because what I can do is potentially Provoking Pierce, get this down. I could recover, move here, Provoking Pierce, move all these over. I also have a Crystal Elixir available to me. I'm not ready to use that yet. Yeah, let's... Because I could recover down to 0, punch. I think we need to go with the Aeromancer first, so then I can figure out the Monk after we do the Slayer. Let's do 2 on the Aeromancer for a Hex Bolt. That'll hit. That'll go into wounds. And then let's just do a basic attack and see if we can... 4. Okay, so that will hit. And we'll gain 1, 2, 3, 4 threat. Still not the worst. We can deal with that. And I do need to get his magic back up at some point though. So this is good for the Monk, because that means we can just recover and punch instead and get that under. So let's recover with the Monk, which is 4. So let's go here. And then let's punch. 3. Yes. Okay, finally we get our crit value, which we love to see. So 3, 3. So these 2 are going to go to wounds, and we're not going to gain any threat. What a great time to get a crit. So we're going to go into the defend phase now. Nice, only 1 damage onto our Aeromancer, which is fine. That'll go into wounds. Only 1 damage onto our Monk, which is fine. We're getting pretty lucky on these cards thus far. And, ooh, okay, that one's bad. I should have known that was bad. Okay, 1. And I still have Procura in my back pocket, don't forget, with him. Poison, when you complete an action, reduce your MP by 2. That one's okay. And Confuse. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to Procura with our Slayer next turn, which is remove all afflictions from yourself or an adjacent character. Curing illness in this way is akin to water evaporating on a hot day, for a storm inevitably follows. Where are they going? But this, I can get rid of all these with Procura, which is pretty awesome. And that's going to go into wounds. And then we're going to put a card here. We're going to put a card here. And then we're going to roll some dice. Back to the refresh phase. So let's roll 2 dice. We'll go 3 and 5. We'll roll 2 dice. And we're going to go 4. Okay, so there are no cards left in here. So normally, right, we would attack and we would deal a damage and then the Specter would flip, right? And you're like, oh, that's great, it's injured. But in this particular situation, in this one right here, this area limit is 4. And we have, actually, we're pretty good on the area limit. So I could use the Seer to delay this down a bit so we could potentially avoid, you know, too much bad stuff. But he is staggered. And so I could drop a card, like literally any card, into Fatigue. Just to, so I think, and what we want to do is put a card into Fatigue with the Seer. And then once we do that, we can deal some damage into wounds. Because remember, when we flip this, all those claw cards, all the physical attack cards are going away. Only the ones on the bottom, we're going to get just a bunch of magical ones. But we don't want to leave any of these on the board because then they're part of the show too. So we want to get rid of a bunch of these. So we have to sort of start with the Seer. Unless we're just going to do some non-attacking. But I would rather just start with the Seer. Just to be safe. And I'm thinking we're just gonna punt one of these. Is there any danger? Who's got a high threat? The Aeromancer needs to recover a bit. We'll probably double, actually, let's go with the Aeromancer first because we're gonna double recover with him. We're gonna recover. Nice, so let's bring this down 5. Let's bring this down to 2, and then we'll cover again and get some MP back. 1, 2, 3. The Monk, I think we could punch. We could maybe do a punch with the Monk and then move in front of the Aeromancer. How's that sound? Get some more of these cards into wounds. So, boop, boop. So we'll gain 7 threat. We'll get our free move, and then we'll recover back down. Oops, I did that wrong. Wait, 1 sec. Before we do that, boop, boop. I literally just went over this. The Seer will go, and we'll just punt this one of these 2 in here. Actually, let's put this one out. There. Now this card's in Fatigue, so now the Specter won't flip. And then let's have the Seer attack right here, the card right in front of us. Ooh, yeah, that's a crit. That's a 4. So we'll do that. Put the Monk back here for now. The Seer is actually in great shape right now. Full everything, full up. We are maintaining this thing, this big turn very well. I think she's just gonna stay right there and we're past that second action, not use it, which is incredible. It's so rare to be able to do that. And then the Monk, we already did this, so we attacked, and now we can attack and put these both in the wounds, get our free move, and then recover. So 5, and then we get an extra 1 because of the Monk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1 more because we're the Monk. Again, the Seer is one of the best characters in the game. Maybe the best character in the entire game, if I'm being honest. It's just so flexible in these later enemies to be able to maintain these area limits and keep them down and prevent bosses from flipping. It's just really, really, really powerful stuff. So we finished with the monk, and then the slayer. We already said we're going to spend 3 for Procura. We're going to put possessed over here because we're going to need it. But Procura's going to get rid of all these afflictions on us, which we hate. And then we're going to recover and try and get some magic back. 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And this is good. So this is going to hit our monk for 1 damage and an affliction. Don't like that affliction, though. A disease. When your activation ends, gain 1 affliction. Don't like that. Might have to move over and Procura my monk next. And then this is going to hit just 1 on the Slayer, which is fine. We have a lot of healing left on us. Remember, when there are 2 characters, these claws hit the front line. And then this is going to go here. And now we're in really, really good shape. No refresh phase, still staggered. We're going to, one of these, someone's going to hit one of these, and then we're going to flip, but everything will be under 4. We're doing great. We have done very, very well for ourselves here. So I think the correct choice will be to go with the monk to start. So we're going to go with the monk. And we're going to recover 1 and get rid of this disease so we don't have to use Procura for it. And then we're just going to move here. And that's our free move. And then we'll recover again and see if we can get rid of that paralyze. Yeah, we'll just get rid of the paralyze. And then we'll go with our Aeromancer. And I think we're just going to attack normally. 5, so that'll go into wounds. 1, 2, 3. We gain that 3 threat. And then we're going to flip the Specter Part 2. So those first rage cards, which we didn't actually see any of these, and I didn't talk about this because I've been here, I've done this for a very long time, but these are some of the most dangerous rage cards in the game, which is why you saw me work so hard to make sure I didn't draw any. They are just horrible. Like Puppet Sorcery, yikes. Yeah. Fresh Meat, the character with the lowest threat, roll 1 die, reduce HP by the number of strength cards in the rolled area. Like, all this is just bad. I hate these, so I worked really hard to have them not come out. And then now the Specter at the start of the defend phase, search characters and the affliction deck for the possessed affliction, which I set on the side, and assign to the character with the highest threat, then draw a rage card targeting that character. So, yeah. So these are all going to go away. And we draw, because it's 7, like that's the most, like they're all just going to go away. And then we're going to do 6 per character. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we'll shuffle these in a second. So he's no longer staggered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Doing great. We are still in the middle of this round. We've gone with the Aeromancer. That was only his... he attacked, and he could recover, but we're not going to do that. We're going to move, because I don't want to eat a rage card. Another one. He's going to get one in a second. He's going to be possessed, which we hate. And then... let's go with the... we don't want more rage cards, so I think the best bet for the Seer is to... let's take a look how that's just 1 damage. That's fine. So I don't have to place this into fatigue, and I actually don't think I will. We're just going to move here. And then the Slayer is going to move here and try to recover that last bit of MP. Yep, we'll just get 2 more MP. Back to 7. All right. Oof. So we did manage to dodge this, but we have to do the start of the defend phase. And I'm actually going to clone this token. When I play, I don't use these on the side. I just keep the token here, so I always remember where it is. So I always remember to do this. So start of the defend phase. Who's the possessed is going to go on the Aeromancer, and we deal a rage card. Perform a basic attack against the character with the highest threat, which is myself. So it doesn't say against another character with the highest threat. It just says against the character with the highest threat. So it's unfortunate. He's got to attack himself, but luckily I need to roll over a 5 in order to make that happen. So, which I didn't, so I missed hurting myself. So get by with a freebie on that. So that'll go on the bottom. See if we can remember that. The self attack was the first one. And then this is gonna go now. Now hit the monk for 2 damage. Ouch. Now I'll go into fatigue, and this will hit our Slayer, which we know is already for 1. And now we roll some dice. So first this card will come out here, and this card will come out here. And we have 22 cards that we need to get through before this jerk is staggered. So we really need to mill through it, which is why the Slayer's full up. We need him to mill cards so that we can get the Seer to use all her great combos and stuff. Let's roll for the Aeromancer. 1, 1. And then let's roll for the Seer. 1, 5. Roll for the Slayer. 2, 3. Oops, did that wrong. 2, 3. And then the monk. 1, 4. Okay, so area 1 is not looking so hot, but I think it's not too difficult for us to get rid of 3 cards. We've managed ourselves pretty good here. Unfortunately, the Aeromancer's trait is offline because he's possessed. That's just going to keep coming back, which is not great. We could recover down and then just do a regular attack into him, and then the monk could pop that, which isn't bad because a punch, move, punch. We could Provoking Pierce it actually to move this back over here, so that's interesting. Let's start with the Slayer though. I would like to attack here and then recover back down. So let's do a basic attack. So 3 is greater than 1. So we're gonna put these 2 into fatigue, and he'll gain 5 threat to 6. And then we will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, spend 5 MP with Reclaimed Blade, and we're gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these cards from stamina into fatigue. How many cards are actually in? So we have 9 cards in fatigue right now, which means Fire Monsoon is on the table, which might not be terrible. If this attack hits before you deal damage, place a number of strength cards equal to the attack roll from fatigue into wounds. It might not be a bad idea just to get this done now in case something really bad happens to the Seer. I have max MP, I've got no threat. I could move and just do it. Automatically he's gonna hit, and it's just gonna, I think that might be what we have to do. But first let's roll with the Slayer. 3, okay, so that's 3 threat down. 1, 2, 3. Slayer's done, and I think we're gonna do, I did want to have a huge massive turn doing like a Comet Storm into a Fire Monsoon, but if we cycle Fire Monsoon, a big combo still may be on the table with Empowering Drought. So I'm gonna move my Seer to here in the front line, which opens up Duel of Honor for my Aeromancer, and we are going to spend 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Fire Monsoon. So let's see if the attack hits first. Oh, yeah. All right, that's pretty good. So not only did it hit with a crit, so I won't gain any threat. Seer is being MVP this game, so that'll go right into wounds. I'll also put 4 cards from fatigue into wounds. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then I cycle this. Fire Monsoon's one of those cards that's like, it can be insane. It can be so good, so game winning. Like if you roll a 6 on Fire Monsoon, it feels so good, but it also feels really bad if you only roll a 1, right? So it's a big risk reward card for the investment. And I just happened to, do pretty good here. It could have done bad, but 4 is good. It's a little above average, and it's the crit for the seer, so you feel extra good. So we're gonna cycle that. Let's see what we get. Okay. Oh wait, no, I didn't shuffle these after. One sec. Here we go. I didn't shuffle them after I replaced it because Necrotic Arts was what the Aeromancer had. That should be at the bottom of the deck. Flash Beam. Okay, so this is pretty awesome. If you roll below 7, this attack is critical. So we could still Comet Storm into a Flash Beam, which would be pretty dope. Granted, the Seer survives that long. So good round from the Seer. Doing really good. We're not shattered yet. We've maintained the areas really well. This could go south very fast still, so we need to be on guard. Man, I wish I was not possessed. So I think what I would like to do is recover first with the Aeromancer. And if I get lucky and I roll a 1, I can get rid of this possessed, which will let me do Duel of Honor for free to put a card into wounds. Let's see. Can I roll a 1? Nope, 5. But 5 is still good. We'll put this down to 0 so I don't have any threat. And do I still want a Duel of Honor? I think I do, because we want to get rid of multiple cards. So let's begin rolling 2 dice for Duel of Honor. I'll spend 4 to go down to 0. That'll hit because it's greater than 0. We'll put 1 card into fatigue because my trait is off, and I'll gain 3 threat. And I'm going to eat one of these because I'm in the back line. So what I want to do is I just want to recover. We're going to slow roll this, and we're going to go to 0. We're going to go to 0 because I just don't want the threat. We'll work on getting MP back later to work on this stuff. But at the moment, at the moment we're okay. Let's see, and let's not forget, I have Crystal Barrier if I can get my MP back up, so that's actually pretty important. That's it for you, and then the monk. Let's punch. Let's punch. Okay, where are we at with health? We're full for. Still not time for Healing Zephyr. We can save that. So let's just do a big old punch with the monk. Oh no. I missed. That's okay. I missed. I rolled 1 and I missed. I'll reduce my threat by 1, and then now no matter what I'll hit. So that's okay. 6. So 1 and then 6. Great. So then these will go into fatigue. I'll gain 6 threat, but with the monk I'll reduce it by 1, which is what we were looking for because now this card is here to hit my Aeromancer. Oops. I forgot about this one. That's where that miss really kills us. Because could I have, let's think about this. So I put these out. It was like this, right? I could have potentially used Provoking Pierce to move that over before dealing damage, done that and gained 9 threat if I had rolled under an 8. But I think we're just gonna have to accept that I messed up and I didn't play optimally, which does feel bad. So we're gonna have to deal with this. I didn't realize, I forgot that was 5. This one's gonna hurt. That's on me. Sorry, guys. Let's see if I can recover from this blunder. So, defend phase. Started the defend phase. So, who's got the highest threat? That's my monk. So, let's get a rage card on the monk. Soul Constriction, raise threat to 11, or take 3 damage. Easy choice. 1, 2, 3. Very easy choice. We still have lots of healing available to us. We have a healing Zephyr. I have a high healing potion here. Like, I'm not concerned right now. So then this will go here. We'll gain 1 on the Aeromancer. This will hit everybody. Everyone gaining 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think this is where we're gonna have to use our crystal elixir to get rid of this possessed and maybe do some cycling. And then we got some rage cards here that we have to deal out too. Place 2 cards from wounds into fatigue. That feels bad. And then the Slayer takes 3 more. 1, 2, 3. And then the Seer, Spirit Leech. So take a damage, threat, and an affliction. Blind. As it turns out, blind is great for the Seer. When you roll a die on attack, 5 or 6, reroll that die. Her crit is 4. So it can be good. It can also be bad. But it's pretty funny. So this will go here. And there. Rough stuff. Okay, how many cards do we have left? 7. So that's actually not bad. It means that he's not going to stagger this turn. So 3 and 5. Oh no, it means he might stagger this turn. We need to roll a 6. 1 and 4. Can we get a 6, please? 2 and 2. Uh-oh. Can we get some 6s, please? Okay, so he's staggered and we're not in a good spot. Sort of. We're sort of not in a good spot. It could be worse. It could be a lot worse because we still have the Crystal Elixir on tap. I still have a Comet Storm on call with an Empowered Drought Plus with the Seer. So it could be a lot worse than it looks. The Slayer is not going to be able to help us much this turn. But with this Crystal Elixir, I can use this on anybody, but I think I'm going to use it on the monk because it means that I can... Yeah, this is definitely the correct choice. Let's use the crystal. Let's start with the monk and use the Crystal Elixir. So this will go to 0, and then also this will go to 0. And then we get rid of any afflictions. So I'm just gonna put that possessed on the side because we're still gonna need it in a minute. And then I can cycle any of these cards. I'm gonna keep Healing Zephyr and Provoking Pierce, and I'm actually gonna keep all this. This all is really nice. It's all really good. And let's spend 1 for Provoking Pierce on the monk. So I want to roll 2 dice. 5, 6, 7. 7 is less than 8. You must place all strength cards from an adjacent area into your target area before dealing damage. So we're going to take all these, and we're going to go here. And then I deal my 2 damage, and he's staggered. So these will both go into wounds. I'll gain 4 threat. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to reduce it by 1 with my monk trait that I got rid of, the possession with the Crystal Elixir. And so now what we want to do is do a basic attack and hope that I don't roll a 1 or a 2, because I crit on a 3, which is really nice. So we're looking for not a 1 or a 2 on this basic attack. That wasn't my roll. Here we go. 4. Okay, I can live with a 4. So these 2 will go to wounds. So that's 5 threat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but then we can reduce by 1. So that's really good. That's really nice. It's good stuff. I am at risk of shattering during the defend phase, which is really scary because then we would lose our healing Zephyr, but the monk has been doing pretty good so far. Okay, so that was the monk. We love that. We'll get to the Aeromancer in a minute, I think. What we want to do is, I think it's time to do a Comet Storm, potentially with my Seer. So the first step is to recover, see what we get. So that's a crit. Okay, so the crit could bring my, though this is a big risk. I should have used Empowering Drought Plus first, honestly. Let's bring my threat to 0. And now let's use Empowering Drought Plus and hope that I roll a 6, more than a 6. I did. Okay, so that is gonna bring me all the way back to 10. And I can use any active ability, even if it has been used this activation. So it's Comet Storm, called from the heavens to send another in its place. So I can target any area with an attack, and then I can attack it, and then I don't gain any threat from it. So I can do it as many times as I want. It's like great. And I don't have any threat. So rolling is really just a formality. Like I don't even need to roll. Like I'm just going to take a card from each area and drop it into wounds. Because no matter what I roll, I'm going to hit, and he's staggered. So it's going into wounds. So just as a shortcut, I do not need to roll on this. Use Empowering Drought Plus, so that gets flipped face down. That goes to wounds. That 5er, that goes to wounds. This goes to wounds, and yeah, let's get that into wounds. And then Comet Storm goes away. Boop, and we'll draw another one. Raising Wind. When another character's HP is reduced to 0, roll 1 die, gain that much HP on the target character. So if we do get someone's HP knocked to 0, we could bring them back. I could bring them back up. And this goes to 0, and I'm still blind. Okay. Let's see. That's it for the Seer. Great turn. Great turn. The poor Slayer just needs a double recover. He's at big risk here. So let's recover. 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll recover again. 3, 1, 2, 3. That's okay. Sometimes you just got to do that. And then the Aeromancer, just to make more use of this stagger turn, is going to move 3, 1, 2, 3, and then he'll just attack right in front of him. 4, which is nice. We'll get that into wounds. He'll gain 1. There. Okay, so this is where items are so powerful. Like we just burned these 2 items and it made great use, and we still haven't shattered yet. So I think things are looking pretty good for us, but obviously with the way this game's designed, things can flip on their head at any moment. So start of the defend phase, who's got the highest threat? It's the monk, so the monk's gonna be possessed again. Let's get a rage card out here. Roll 1 die. 1, set threat to 11. 2 through 6, remove possessed. Okay. 6, remove possessed. Amazing. So we won the inner struggle. That's one of the better rage cards to get. But unfortunately, we're going to get another one right now. Perform a base attack against the character. Oh no, I have to attack myself. So I have the highest threat. I have to attack myself. Oh no, 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 I crit. Ugh, dang. That's okay. I crit, which means I automatically hit and I deal 2 damage to myself, which puts me to 0, which means I'm going to have to Zephyr next turn, which again, it's not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing, but it just is annoying that I have to burn that resource. It is annoying. We'll go here. This is going to hit the Aeromancer. He's just going to gain 2 threat, which I don't hate. And then this will hit the Seer. 2 corruption and not shattered, so nothing happens, which is really nice. So all these are going to go back to stamina. This guy's guarded again. We'll put a card here. We'll put a card here. And we'll put a card here. And now we roll dice. We're getting close, guys. I can feel it. So let's go area 3. We'll roll 2 more dice. 2 and 5. So area 3 is looking a little rough. 3 and 4. And 1 more. 3. So area 3 is very scary right now. I only have 4 cards left in stamina. So area 3 is something that needs to be potentially dealt with. I mean, this is a big puzzle for us that we hit. This is the puzzle of the hour. I don't know what we're going to do about that right now. I've sort of run out of big things to do. Might mean just eating some of this, which is bad. We've been lucky so far, but we need to make sure that... Let's start with the monk and do... Actually, this is interesting. We could move the Aeromancer to the front line, which would allow him to reduce his threat with a Hex Bolt, potentially, which is really nice. Oh, wait, I know what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to do some pro strats here. We're going to move our Aeromancer here. And we're going to roll the recover die. And we're going to gain 4 MP back. And we're going to explain why that is very important later. But that's going to be the entire Aeromancer's turn. Next up is the monk. Let's spend 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For Healing Zephyr. Choose the front or back line, roll 1 die, and let's give a bunch of people some health back. 4. We're only on a 4, so we'll do 4 more health here. 4 more health here, and can only go to 8. And we get to cycle Healing Zephyr, which is really nice. I feel like, I guess we did shuffle it, so this should be on the bottom. Actually, for that matter, Raising Wind should be on the bottom too. That's what I get for not playing the game correctly. Those should be on the bottom, so I should be getting new abilities, but that's okay. We'll keep Precognition. It's fine. And then I have 1 more action left. Oh, this is interesting. So I could move. Watch this, guys. I'm gonna. Nah, it's not what. So I could move here, right? And then I could use Precognition, which is a free action, and then would allow me to. Free actions are great on the monk. Gives me another move, and then I can move there and then attack. But my threat is really high, so I think after that first action, I'll reduce my threat by 1, and then I'll recover. That's awful. 1. And then I will spend 1 for Precognition, choose any area, place those cards in any order. Yeah, well, this is mainly just so I can reduce this by 1 more for 1 MP. Let's put this 5er on top, though. Great. Okay, that's the monk. The Slayer is going to recover. The Slayer is really struggling on the recovering. And I guess I have to, because that's 5, I have to get that area fixed. We still have the Seer who can back him up, but Yeah, we got to get this fixed. So he's just gonna, the Slayer's gonna make an attack and see what happens. And a miss. Oh, poor guy. Dud. Okay. Let's go with the Seer now. We're gonna take a look at these, and we're just gonna drop that one into fatigue. Yeah, we'll drop. No, I already did it. And then we'll move here. And yeah, let's just attack. She can afford to take 5 threat, I think. 3, yeah, that's fine. We'll drop that into fatigue and gain 5. I'm fine with this. Because we can repent with the useless Slayer next turn. He did his job, it's okay. Okay, let's go into the defend phase now. This will hit the monk for nothing, which is great. This area limit is indeed broken, but I'm gonna spend 4 for, so this is gonna reveal and hit everybody. However, I'm gonna spend 4 for Crystal Barrier. When a strength or rage card is revealed, characters in your area do not suffer any of the effects. Okay, so the monk and the Slayer are still each gonna gain 4 or 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But the Aeromancer and the Seer are not. And then I have to cycle this. So put that into fatigue. Get rid of Crystal Barrier. What do we get here? Glacial Blade, not bad. Glacial Blade's great because on a 1 or a 2, really good things happen for me. And then this is gonna hit the Aeromancer for 2 threats. Things are getting a little dicey, but we haven't shattered yet. And then 2 more threat on the Slayer. I think the Slayer is getting close to flipping. So, oh, I forgot to do this. Dang. Start of the defend phase. Who had the highest threat? Oh no. So he was at 6. And then 1, 2, 3. She was at 4. And he was at, I think it would have been the Aeromancer. So let's do this. Raise threat to 11 or take 3. We'll take 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I even had the token here and everything to remind me. This is gonna go here, and let's roll some dice. We are getting really close to knocking this guy out. 4, 4, 4, 4. Oh gosh, that's terrifying. 1, 2. Okay, so this one and this one are bad, and all of our threats are very, very high. I think it might be time to, okay, yes. Let's start with the Slayer and have the high health potion get used on the Aeromancer. So now the Aeromancer will roll 1 die, gain that much HP, and an adjacent character. Remember, items can be used on any character. It's like I'm throwing it to him and he's using it. It's like you don't have to use it on yourself. And then we flip the card face down. So we'll get rid of the possession on the Aeromancer and we'll roll a die. Ooh, love that. Gain that much HP, so he's gonna go back to 6, 7, 8. That's great. Oh, and then get rid of the blind on the Seer as well. I don't have to, but I want to. Okay, great. So we're gonna flip that. And I think I'll spend, man, this is tough. I could just shatter now and get a really good attack into this. I think that's what I have to do. I'd love to repent and help out the Seer, but I think I'll take an action to shatter voluntarily, and we'll put HP to 10. corruption to 0. Threat to 0. Repent was so good, but and Procura is really good too. We're taking a risk on this by shattering, but because he's staggered right now, I think this is a really good opportunity to get rid of some high cost cards. Oops. So I get 1 shattered ability, Shadow Flight. Nah, nothing. Okay, so now we're gonna roll 2 dice and we're gonna try and get rid of these 2 cards. 5, yeah, so that'll hit. So these will go to wounds and we'll gain 7 threat, which is very scary, but you know, we're taking a risk here. So that's it for the Slayer. The Aeromancer will go, and let's do a recover action to get some MP back. And we'll just do a basic attack into this area. 1, amazing. So that's a crit. So that'll go into wounds. Order is relevant for this enemy. And I won't gain any threat. Oh, I just realized that was really lucky. I didn't realize he was at 5 threat. If I hadn't rolled a 1 or a 6, that would have not hit. I should have used Hex Bolt. Whoops. That's on me. So, yeah, I should have reduced my threat with that. Oh well. Let's go with the Seer now. Yeah, we gotta get this area limit down. Or do we? Right now, this would be hitting everybody. And we have a lot of health to give still, I think. That's interesting. No, it's not interesting. You know what? Let's hold off on the Seer. Let's go with the Monk first, because if the Monk can get rid of some of this, then I can worry about it later. We'll go with the Monk. So the Monk will recover first. 2, so down to 3. And I'll spend 1 to do a Provoking Pierce, so I can get 2 dice on this attack. 5, we just get it. We just get it, yeah. So I have to move, let's see, before dealing damage. So I have to move these over, and then I deal 2 damage. So these are going into wounds, and I'll gain 4 threat. And then I'll reduce by 1 because I attacked. So this is why we waited with the Seer, because now I can look at these. Yeah, let's punt that into fatigue. And then the Seer can move to here. And I think we'll just recover 6. Yeah, let's get this back down here. Great. All right, let's move on to the defend phase. Because we did that, Yep, we did all that. So let's go to the defend phase. The Monk is going to take a threat and an affliction. My crit value is 0. Hate that. Hate that affliction. Oh wait, first, whose threat was highest? It's the Monk. All right, so the Monk is getting doubly hit. Plays 2 cards from wounds into fatigue. Damn it. Okay. So, and also gaining 3 threat. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so she's at 11 with a burn. I think we'll be shattering next turn with the Monk as well, which is great. Like we're right on track still. Let's get a rage card onto this guy, a Spirit Leech. So we're gonna take a damage, a threat, and an affliction. Shadow, after using the ability, gain threat equal to its MP cost. Ugh, that also feels horrible. And we got rid of our Procura, so this is gonna hit everybody, so everyone's gonna take 2 damage. 1, 2. 1, 2. I was hoping that wouldn't be as bad. 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, the monk can shatter. That seems fine. Now this is going to hit the back line. The seer just takes 2. That's fine. Seer has been literally the MVP this whole game. Okay, so back to the refresh phase. Put that there. And I think we're on the home stretch, guys. I think we're almost ready to take this guy out. 1 and 3. 1 and 4. And 2 and 4. Great. Okay, so that's it. If we can get rid of all these cards, we win the game. However, it's not going to be easy because we have 1, 2, 3 spots that are not in a great shape, as they say. So first off, I think let's recover with my Slayer and just get that threat down. Let's recover with my. This is annoying. Yeah, let's go with the Seer first. Yeah, let's go with the Seer first, and we're just gonna put this card in a fatigue for now, so that we don't have to worry about it. And then the Seer will recover. 4, that's nice because that's our crit. So that means we can put our MP back to 10, which means we can spend 6 of that to use Flash Beam. So if I roll below a 7, it's critical. I didn't, so that's okay. So this is still go to wounds. I just now gain the threat 1, 2, 3 for it. Not super worried about that. Now the Slayer can go. I keep forgetting to flip these. It's hard when you have 4. The Slayer can go, and let's roll to recover. Oh wait, first, whoops, that doesn't count. This doesn't count. First, I have to gain a corruption and cycle this. It's gain 2 corruption. Each character may cycle one of their any equipped cards. That's interesting. And it's free, and I could gain 2 corruption to do it, which means I could cycle this for a better ability. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to gain 2, and each character can cycle one of their cards. I'm just going to do it on myself. A Soul's Crossroad. Oh, now we're talking. Roll 1 die, 1 through 3, reclaim yourself. 4 through 6, return this card to the bottom of the shattered deck. Oh, man. Okay, so we have an interesting decision here, right? I could do this right now. Gain 3. It would put me at 6, which is halfway. And potentially reclaim myself, which is awesome. If I fail, I don't get any more shattered abilities at all for the rest of the game. And that would mean I can't recover attack. Reclaiming would essentially mean they'll give us a really good chance at winning the game, and I would lose this ability at the start of my next activation because I'm an imperfect vessel. This is so tempting. This intelligent move would just be recover and attack, wouldn't it? That would be the intelligent play. But I'm not here to be an intelligent man. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna Soul's Crossroad it and just hope. Oh no! Oh, my hubris, no! The soul decided that I was not to be reclaimed. Dang. Oh, that feels so bad. So now this area will pop off. So 4, 5, 6. So I could attack, and if I hit without a crit, I'm out for the entire game. Otherwise, or I could just move and let the Aeromancer deal. I think that's probably the better, more intelligent decision, would be to just move. Oh, the risk didn't pay off. That makes me look like an idiot. Dang. I mean, I could just roll and say if I crit, easy peasy. If this hits everyone, that is so bad. I could end up blundering this whole thing. I'm going to attack. And if we lose the Slayer, we lose the Slayer. Okay, so we rolled a 9, which is over a 7. Both of these are going to go to wounds, but most unfortunately, it puts me to 12 threat. So the Slayer, instead of reclaiming himself, is removed from the board. So that feels bad, but it did get us those 2 cards out, which means it won't pop off and hurt everybody. So a valiant sacrifice, Slayer. We thank you for your time. So now I only have the Aeromancer and the Monk left. I could... So I can shatter with the Monk. Yeah, let's shatter with the Monk. And get rid of this Possessed and this Burn. The threat's too high, and none of this other stuff's going to help. So let's get rid of that and that and that. Drop this. Flip this. Corruption at 0. HP at 6. And I get 1 shattered ability. Orders from Beyond. When your attack misses, perform a basic attack and add your current corruption to the attack roll. That's fine. It's not great. So now we're going to attack with the Monk. And if I hit, I deal 3 damage, which I'm definitely going to hit. And I do. So I deal 3 damage, and these are low-end cards. So I only gain 4 threat, which is pretty awesome. 1, 2, and those will all go to wounds. So we shattered as an action, and then we attacked. And now my Aeromancer is going to recover. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think we just want to do a basic attack, because if I roll a 1, it's a crit and I hit anyway. You know what? I'm going to spend 1 for Glacial Blade. Yep. So it hits. So Glacial Blade didn't do anything. I was just going to see if that... So that goes to wounds, and I gain 3 threat. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you know what? I didn't use Glacial Blade because of Shadow. I changed my mind. No, I said it. I can't change my mind. I said it. I can't change my mind. I have to gain threat equals stupid Shadow. And that's everyone. Okay, so who's got the highest threat right now? It is 5, 5. Ooh, I can choose, because we're tied here. The Aeromancer can become possessed. That seems fine. Roll 1 die. 2 through 6, remove possession. Great. Won the internal struggle. Certainly great to see it. Are they really your friend? Perform base attack against the character with the highest threat. Uh-oh. Let's do it on the Aeromancer. Are they really your friend is very scary when you shatter with the Monk. 6. I do hit, so I deal 3 damage to the Aeromancer. Oh my gosh. Why would you do that, Monk? Why would you attack the Aeromancer? The Aeromancer is going to take 2 threats. And then we'll go into fatigue. And then we get a rage card for the Seer. Raise threat to 11 or take 3 damage. We can take 3 damage with the Seer. We've managed her health pretty good. Their health, whatever you want. Okay, and then this is below, this is not over 4, so we're good. So this is gonna go here, that's gonna go there, And we just have a few more cards. We're so close, guys. We are so close. Let's go with... Oh, man. Let's recover with the monk. 2. And then let's attack. That hits. We gain 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's recover with the Aeromancer. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I guess we're gonna attack. Oh man, if we miss, oh no, the Seer can move it out of the way. That's fine. 1. Yes, that's what we love to see. Look at that. Yes, 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 yes. Ping, 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 ping. What's that math on that? 1 and 6, baby. We got the crit. You ain't crap. Specter. Amazing. And then the Seer will move and recover. Oh, that's a crit. Great. Put that to 0. Wish that had been an attack. Okay, who's got the highest threat? It's the monk. The monk will take a rage card. Place 2 cards from wounds into fatigue. No, we just... Ah, man. 3, hate that. Hate that card. It's never ending. We're so close to beating this guy. And then that will go there. Spirit Leech, 1 damage. 1 threat and an affliction, another disease, hate that. And then the Seer, 1 threat and an affliction. Stun, can't regain MP when I recover. That could be worse. So this will go here, this will go here, and let's see where this fiber is going. That's gonna go there. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Let's recover with our monk and see if we can get a good one here. 3, 1, 2, 3. I think we might risk killing our monk too. Let's do it. Let's roll 2 dice and see if we can kill the monk. So that's a 9, which is greater than 5. So we're gonna gain 7. We're gonna put both of these into wounds and gain 7 and go to 12 and drop her. Okay, so the Slayer and the monk doing what needed to be done. And then let's recover with the Aeromancer. 4 down to 0. And we'll just do a basic attack. Yep, that goes there. We gain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to end things with the Seer. Take a look what that card is. Nothing bad. I'd love to end with a flat. I'm going to recover. 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're just gonna be a Chad, and we're gonna end with a flash beam, and end it with a bang. Boom. Gain 2 threat. It's not a crit, unfortunately, because it's over 7. But and we're not shattered, neither of us. So no matter what this last rage card is, roll 1 die, set threat to 11. Yeah. So we'll each roll a die. And we'll put our threat to 11. Nope. Okay, we did it. So that's it. We have defeated the Specter. And I think we know who the MVP is on this one. It's the Seer. So yeah, hopefully you guys maybe learned a little strategy here. Some interesting rules interactions with how the Seer can sort of hold off the Specter changing forms. And I did have a pretty good crop of abilities, but with 4 characters, you're gonna probably, with how many cards you're drawing, there's gonna be a good grouping of them. And I think this could have been possible with any number of characters. The Seer was obviously very crucial, and I think there may be someone that if you're running 4 characters towards the end game, I would highly recommend using. But this even could have been potentially like the Siren or whatever. but support characters are big. Choosing the right items are big. Like having that crystal elixir was amazing. Sometimes I choose abilities on characters for like knowing I'm going to try to hold off and get a big turn out of them later on. I was able to do a fire monsoon and a comet storm with the seer, which is pretty dang awesome if you ask me. And I did have to sacrifice 2 characters to get this done. So if it was journey mode, maybe I would have played it differently so that I didn't lose these 2 guys. But also if it was journey mode, I would have picked my abilities from scratch or had some relics to help me. And, maybe I'm okay losing a couple characters during journey mode on this enemy. Like, probably not 2. I probably wouldn't have been as reckless with them if that was the case. But anyway, that's our Let's Play for the Specter running 4 characters. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think, or if I made any mistakes that I didn't already call out. If you like this game, you can buy it. Check out almanacgames.com. Encounter Shattered Wastes. Goodbye.